It was a whole gallon. It was a last-minute trip.
Gallon in a day?
Luke. Okay.
I'm calling you weak is what's going on here.
Bro, you've been on my ass this last day. Get off me. Jesus Christ. Oh, you didn't get Diablo on PC where you should be playing it.
Dude, PC is seriously so much better than Xbox because they stopped updating Xbox like a year in.
Hey, can we finish the challenges in multiplayer with the ODST weapons, like the different pistol and the silenced MPG? Or
I think so.
Okay. Because that would be really neat.
Wow.
Wow.
Dude,
Wow,
Brayden,
you
I haven't
can really
talked to you in a
dance.
fat minute. How
Alright.
you been?
I've been good. I've just been working. That's pretty much it. Working and then gaming when I'm not working. Same
Hey, we could do
Yeah, no,
3v3.
I see you on Destiny at least a fair bit every day.
I need to get Destiny
I've
on
been playing a
PC
bit of Destiny.
because
Yo,
crossplay.
Fuchsia, I could make you so good at that game in a week if you just let me carry you through all the shit. Cause
Sure,
I'm straight stacked in Destiny 2.
I bet.
Yeah,
I got
campaign.
to the point where just before the last DLC came out, so I just don't remember if it was on Xbox or PlayStation, which account that was.
I'm
You
so
can do
glad
you can do a cross save where you
Yeah.
can connect your
Yeah.
accounts.
I know, that's why I need to
downloaded
figure out which one's
Destiny
better.
2 like 2 weeks ago and started playing again. And
All
I was
right.
like, fuck.
Wasn't there a
Who's-
timer for that? Wasn't there like a limited time to do that?
The crossplay,
No,
I'm
pretty sure it's
fairly
still
certain.
free
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Who's joining who? I have
Okay.
John. Should we join someone? Are you guys joining us? Well,
Well, I guess we'll join on. Cass, what do you want to do?
Yeah, we'll just join on you guys. It's not.
okay. How you doing, Casserole?
I am good. I am good. I actually have a
Good.
few things that I need to do, but I'm not gonna do them right now because I don't need to.
There you go.
Good call.
I know that feeling.
That's me with breakfast. I should be eating breakfast, but I'm gonna forego that for now.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm almost
Brecky,
never
you're
eat
forgoing
breakfast.
your Brecky.
Yeah.
I almost never eat breakfast, but I will pound like at least 2 coffees in the morning, and then it's just like, yeah, that's good. I'll just let the fucking acidic coffee burn my stomach. So.
Oh, that's
yeah.
good.
Love
That's
that.
healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
yeah,
yeah,
no,
that's,
it's
that
very
sounds
healthy,
great.
guys. It's really, really healthy.
Caffeine is a lot of energy to run off of if you chug it faster too.
Very true.
Yeah, it's like a watermill.
I did one of those challenges. You had to beat the 4th set in a heroic firefight on ODST. It took us an hour and a half to get to the 4th set.
ODST firefight is, in my opinion, I don't know. Is it better, or did they change anything? Is it more
I don't know.
customizable?
They changed. Yeah, I think
Well,
they
like we
changed
couldn't really
a little bit.
customize anything because you just had to do it on the classic mode.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
the past
dude, I don't
week,
even remember
all
how
I've
to
been
play Halo.
doing is looking for the gamer tag Fatebringer, but I can't find it. And I want it. I want to pay someone for it, but I bet that would take a decent amount out of my savings.
Probably.
And I'm not ready to spend upwards of 500 on an Xbox gamer tag.
Ew. Yeah, that would be nasty.
See, but think about this. Fatebringer.
You're a vapor?
No.
Look, I didn't know you vaped. Bro,
Oh,
vaping's
man.
bad. Shouldn't vape, man.
Dude, you shouldn't smoke weed.
Okay, but why?
Okay, Luke, but why?
There's
Everybody in this chat
Literally
smokes.
love to
Killing
go
yourself.
yeah, Luke,
You're
you
killing
literally made the most fatal mistake of
Literally.
your life.
Literally. killing
Literally.
yourselves.
Because the church told me to. Hey, Luke, come play Halo with
don't,
us.
don't tease him. Let him have
You
his own
guys
opinions,
will
whatever.
die a young age because
Why?
of that.
Why?
Ben,
Do you,
Ben,
do
I,
you know anything? I'm sorry, but can we please educate this man right now?
Ben,
it's
Ben,
fine. Just let him talk.
before.
Whatever.
Maybe you'll
I
live
would
in
rather
your-
prefer to
maybe
hear
7
the
days.
actual opinion.
Well, I don't really know. You guys are the first people I've known
Luke,
to actually just smoke
Luke,
weed.
if I'm gonna say something, I grew up LDS such as yourself, and there's a lot of things where it's like, hey, you don't do this, but you never ask why. And if there's one thing I would counsel you to do in your life, it's to ask why, and not just with marijuana, but things in general, right? Because a lot of things with the churches and religions in general, they're like, no, don't do this, and you never question it, right? It's like, can I go to Timmy's
I
house?
asked
No.
plenty why. It's
Why?
not about
Why can't I go to
the
Timmy's house?
drinking or any of that. Well, because I'm a first-hand experiencer of some of the repercussions of some of these things.
Okay, but
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Dude, you heard porn addiction, literal masturbator.
Well, that can happen, but that's
That
only in
has
extreme
ruined
cases.
a lot of things in my life.
Fair enough, Luke, but you have to be aware. Human beings have been painting titties and whatnot on cave paintings from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And as far as pot goes, that's ancient. That's from Japan. Back in what year? Whenever the Japanese finally migrated to
back
Japan.
in the fuck.
Yeah,
back in the
that's
fuck.
where hemp started.
So-
That's where hemp started. And I'm
AJ,
still
to answer
continuing.
your question, I don't question the commandments because I know that they're there for a reason.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna say no to something, fully understand like what it is. At least it's worth the time to just at least educate yourself on what the substance is and what it does. Besides just being like, well, the commandments told me not to. I mean, if you want to ever debate about this kind of thing, that will not work in an argumentative sense. You know, like someone's be like, oh, your commandments. Well, because I get you. I mean, I grew up the same, but
No,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. But I do know some of the repercussions that you guys are gonna like kill your lungs, and if you.
I
manage to
would
be rich enough
love
get a
for
lung
you to
transplant.
give me proof of or burden of proof on that.
Yeah, that's not a
Proof on
thing,
that?
Luke. Ben, a nurse,
Yeah.
could literally talk to you about that. It's that like
Dude,
Well,
then
for
why
one,
did
it
freaking
depends on what
school
you're
try to
smoking.
tell me not to,
mean,
and it's like this is
Yeah,
what
but
you
that
smoke
goes back
drugs, you
to
smoke
that goes back to the war on drugs, my
Yeah.
friend. Here in this country, we've been very anti-weed, anti-anything since Reagan was a president, right? Since the 30s, really, because weed was associated with the Black
guys.
Devil. So
Let's lay off. Let's lay off for just a second. Let's give Luke. We don't have to fucking start attacking him on everything. Luke, I want this to be clear. This is not an attack on you. We're just trying to defend ourselves in our own way. We
It's
too
not
often
even a matter
hear
of defensive or
antagonizing of
being
it.
like
It's just-
argumentative
I
or
wouldn't even
anything
say
along
this
those
is an
lines.
attack.
It's yeah, no.
I think it's
all
more
good.
for like
This
just
all- this all
educational
came from a
purposes.
joke from
you know?
John about being like, "Oh, you vape," and I'm just like, "Oh, you smoke weed."
Well, yeah,
Well,
but it's
no,
like
no,
Luke-
no. It's not that.
it's not that, yeah.
Yeah, no. It's not. It's not that. Like I think what everyone's saying is that it's a matter of education, and I think if you're truly interested in that type of education, look into it. If not, and if it's not your cup of tea, don't. Personally, I don't think any of us would care whether or not you did or you didn't. It's a personal opinion. So if
Yeah.
you are entitled to your opinion and unwilling to change of your opinion, that's different. But if you would like to educate yourself and question the whys, please go ahead.
Luke, if you know me, right? I'm the kind of person where I'm not going to speak on something unless I know a fair bit about it because I would hate to spread misinformation, right? And I also will call people out if they start spewing misinformation. So I mean, if you have your opinion, that's fine. But just if you say something that's inaccurate, that's how I am. It's how I'm wired. I have to call you out for it, and it's not an attack. It's just like, hey,
See, but
don't
dude,
say that shit because it's inaccurate, and you telling that
tell
to other
me
people is more damaging
that
than
it's not
not.
killing your lungs when you smoke weed.
Oh, yeah, and that's why I'm saying you submitted a claim. I'm going to give you the burden of proof to prove me otherwise, to prove everyone in this chat otherwise. And I'm open to it because I mean, if you find articles and more, not just like Fox
To
News
prove
or
science
MSNBC,
otherwise.
like actual like documentation, I'm interested in it. But that's always how it's going to go with me is like if you have an opinion that's different from mine, I'm going to have you submit the burden of proof to me before we go any further. I'm not going to just talk about, well, he said, she said. I want to see the actual documentation that proves me otherwise. So in terms of you saying
You know
like
my
ooga
memory
booga, that's
is,
your lungs are gonna dissipate and vaporize from Mary Jane, I want you to prove that's a thing because I would like to think I'm well sourced. I don't know. I mean, it seems like Ben knows what he's talking about too. So I don't know. I'll let you submit that.
And
Said
Luke, to be
smoking
clear,
weed
there is a
definitely
difference.
isn't good for your lungs.
No, it isn't going to help
Yeah,
it.
putting
But
anything in your lungs that's
Yeah,
other than
exactly.
air is bad for your lungs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And people that
that
live
is
in the
what
city-
I'm talking about.
yes,
That's
but
the
people
fact. That's 100%.
That is a
like,
fact. I literally was just
comparing it-
calling you guys out for it, because, like, yeah.
Look, here's the thing
But
though.
the
You're
thing is-
acting like the bad for our lungs though is like I'm gonna get fucking cancer or die in like a year because of
Oh,
it.
no.
Like it's not
Ooh.
like
It shortens your lifespan by probably like 10 years, but like, who wants to live into their 90s anyway?
That's a broad claim, my friends. Okay, Luke.
Yeah, that's a really
Luke.
broad claim.
Luke,
Hang on.
hey, you really
If
want
you
to
keep
talk about
smoking,
something that
then you'll
damages?
probably be dead by the time you're 90.
Depends on what you're smoking.
It does. And Luke,
We're
hey, quick pause, Luke. You want to talk about things that are bad for your lungs? We live in one of the worst polluted states in the world. So, I mean, like just breathing the air in Utah is, in my opinion, and this is something where I could submit my own burden of proof to you, more damaging than weed. I'm not saying, hey, you can smoke weed now because the air that we breathe in Utah is bad. No, I'm just saying like there is a hierarchy of things, and right now like Utah is ranked as one of the worst places to be right now because of, and it has been. I mean, we've been consistently striking marks year after year for how shitty our air quality is. It is
Yeah.
absolute
I would like to
ass.
note that there, if I may, I would like to note that there is an actual increase in asthmatics in the city. This is population versus population. This isn't like where the city has a higher population, the rural or the urban anyway. There's just a higher amount of asthmatics living in the city. Whenever there's pollution, there's asthma. There's a lot more cases of asthma. Just saying, it's a real issue, and it does a lot more damage than COPD does for anybody who's smoking. COPD is a real thing, and and one of the triggers that can happen is either pollution
My
or smoking.
father-in-law has COPD, and my grandmother passed away from COPD. So
Then that's terrible to hear, Cass, because that's also genetic. I would be very worried. No offense.
Like,
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like, as far as my lungs go, like, my lungs are fucked. Like,
No, I know.
I can guarantee you right now that the majority of people who are in this Discord currently, your lungs, I swear to God, are not nearly as fucked as mine. Like, when I was under the age of 1, I had bronchial pneumonia, so every time I'm sick, people think that I have, like, a fucking chest infection or something like that because my cough is insane. Like, by me smoking weed, it also doesn't help. I don't smoke joints anymore because I hate burning paper because it literally makes me feel like death. Like, if there's any person here who should be like worried about anything with their lungs, it is 100% me, because I will be potentially fucked with it. But also at the end of the day, like, I mean, there's things that I can do for it. I just choose not to. Like, I could take melanin oil, but I don't.
You should, Cass. This is a nurse speaking. Also,
no, I know I should 100% do that, but I can't find or like pure melanin oil.
No worries, I understand.
Hey, Luke, get your ass in here.
And as a tip, Luke, and yes, why don't you play with us, Luke?
Hang on 1 second.
All right. Also, to be noted, there is a significant difference between smoking pot and smoking cigarettes.
Oh,
Yeah, 110%.
Yeah. They're
Aside from like the major one being that one is full of
your
insane
lungs are going to look
full of
absolutely black.
chemicals and toxins.
One is literally full of poison, pretty much.
and toxins.
Yeah.
I once saw an autopsy done on a man who was who had severe lung failure, and they opened it up, and his lungs were black like tar.
It's fucking disgusting.
Oh, it was nasty.
Yeah, no, I
Like,
mean, people you smoke cigs. I don't get how people get into it though.
No, it's an addictive substance. That's all. That's the reason why, literally.
I mean, but like, I know that, but I still don't get it because I've smoked cigs. I've gotten into nicotine, but I've never gotten fully addicted.
The actual taste of cigarettes,
like, I don't get it. I don't get how people get into it.
Did you smoke a lot of it, or did you just smoke it once and then that was it?
For an entire 6 months, I used to smoke 2 packs a week.
What? When was this?
Bro, life's rough, AJ. You know what I'm saying?
My game's freezing.
I'm getting a lot of like glitchy too. Oh, who's shooting me? I got shot to death. All right.
I don't even know what's happening. My
I
game's
just wanted to change my controls.
Is it
Oh,
laggy
you're
for
trying to
all
switch?
you guys or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
So laggy.
Here,
laggy.
I'm gonna have someone else
What
host
the
then.
fuck?
Ooh.
Game over.
Hey, let's go.
Who wants to host?
Ben wants to host. Ben wants to host.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
AJ, like your VC, like occasion just always cuts out here and there.
Yeah.
Are you
it's
at
kinda
home
bad.
or are you away right now?
He's at home.
Oof. Get better internet. No, it's okay, AJ. It
That's
can
a
happen.
nice way of saying, ooh, just get good.
Yeah,
Yes.
Fush